Hello friends! Today we're going to see a system that will allow tournament directors to organize tournaments in match play format, but allowing the loser players in each match to play all the matches. It's called the Swiss system and it's widely used in chess. Let's see it in Zonadiscgolf. We all know that there are two main scoring systems in disc golf, which are the stroke play and the match play. Stroke play is the standard one. You make a round of 18 holes and the player with less score is the one who wins. In match play, there are some individual mini tournaments in each hole. Two players play and the one with less strokes is the one who gets the point for this hole. You make a match of, let's say, 6 holes, but the problem is that the usual bracket system, the losing player has to stop playing because he has lost, and we want to play disc golf and we want to play other rounds. There is a system called Swiss system, which has been widely used in chess since some decades now, that allows all the players to play all the rounds. It's quite easy. Let's suppose an easy tournament, just 16 players. You make the shuffle and you make 8 matches of 2 players each. They make the first round, let's say at 6 holes, and you have 8 winners and 8 losers. The 8 winners get 1 point per victory and the losers 0 points. Second round, now you pair according to the overall standings. So the players with 1 point, they are paired again among themselves, and the 0 points among themselves. After the second round, you will have only 4 players that have won both matches and have 2 points. You also have 4 players that have 0 points because they have lost both matches, and you have 8 players that have 1 point. They have won the first, lost the second, or lost the second, won or lost the first, won the second. Third round, you pair them again according to those overall standings. So the 4 players with 2 points play 2 matches. So after the third round, there will be only 2 players that have won all 3 matches. And the fourth and final round, all the 2 players with 3 victories will play against themselves, and you will have mathematically a winner. Which are the advantages of this system? There are many advantages. The first one is that everyone plays all the rounds. If it's 4 rounds or 7 rounds or whatever, the winners and the losers all play the same number of matches. I think this is a big advantage because we won't play disc golf and we don't want to travel 100 kilometers to lose on the first match and stop playing. Second advantage, after a couple of rounds, the top players play among themselves and the beginner players play among themselves. If you win 3 matches in a row, you will play against another player that has won the first 3 matches in a row. So it will be a high level player. And if you lose your first 3 matches, you will play against another player that has lost his first 3 matches. So it's cool because everyone plays against someone around more or less his level and everyone enjoys the matches way more. Okay, now let's go to the details. First one, when we play disc golf, even if it's match play, we play 4 players on a group and we make 2 matches of 2 players each to check the fouls and to fill the course. If you make, let's say, an 18-hole loop of the course, you can play 3 matches of 6 holes each. If you have 4 players in a group, you can make match 1 is player 1 against player 2. Match 2 will be player 1 against player 3, and match 3 will be player 1 against player 4, and the other 2 players, of course, their match. So you don't have to go back and forth to the hole number 1 to make the next round. You make 1 hole, 18-hole loop, and you make 3 matches of 6 holes each. Another important advantage is that you can tie in chess, the winner gets 1 point, the loser 0 points, and if you make a draw, you have half point each. So if after 6 holes you are tied, okay, you get half a point each. You don't have to lose time or imbalance all the tournaments by making extra holes. You get half a point. If you play against a stronger player than you can go, okay, half a point will be good for me, and you can play to try to get a draw on this match. How can you fit this on a standard tournament? Let's say you have a one-day tournament. You have 18 holes in the morning, 18 holes in the evening. You can make, we have seen that mathematically, you can have a mathematical winner after 2 to the power of number of rounds. So if you have one round, you have one mathematical player among 2 players. If you have 2 rounds, you can have 4 players, 3 rounds, 8 players, 4 rounds, 16 players, 5 rounds, 32 players, 6 rounds is 64 players, and 7 rounds, 128 players. If you think about it, an 18-hole course with 4 players per hole, you can fit 72 players. So 64 against 72, it's with a 6-round match play Swiss system, you can almost fill the course. With a standard tournament of 18 holes in the morning, 18 holes in the evening, you can make 3 matches on the morning, 3 matches on the evening, and can accommodate 64 players on this system. If it's a longer tournament, let's say you have Saturday morning, Saturday evening, and Sunday morning, you could make even 9 rounds, 3 rounds per loop, so you even have way more than rounds that you need. Or you can make 6 rounds, but instead of 6 holes each, 9 holes each, so you make longer matches. You have 2 matches on the Saturday morning, 2 matches on the Saturday evening, and 2 matches on Sunday morning. If you only need 2 matches per group, you make player 1 against player 2, and the second match, player 1 against player 3, and the other ones playing among themselves. More details. It's interesting, you know that systems like disc golf metrics, you can shuffle all the players to make the groups, and you can also include heads of series. So if you have, let's say, 64 players and you have 16 groups of 4 players, you can put all the top 16 players by rating or whatever, 1 on each group. You have head of series, so you can make sure that not all the good players are on the same group and not all the novice players are on another group. No, it's interesting to do it that way. More details. If it's a small tournament or you don't fill the number of spots for the tournament, sometimes you have an odd number of players. What happens if in a group there is one player that has no rival? It doesn't happen anything special. You just play with your colleagues on the group and you win an imaginary match against an imaginary rival. So you get 1 point, and on this next round you will be shuffled and there will be another guy that win that extra imaginary point, and you will play against another player. So it doesn't happen. It happens all the time in chess. It's not a big deal. Okay, when you come to the end, to the last round, on the 6th round, it can happen a draw, a tie between the 2 top players that are playing for the tournament. In chess, the usual ways is you have some tie-breaking procedures, which are, the first one is the number of victories. We have seen that you can tie some matches, so the highest number of victory wins. If there's no tie-break with this system, you use the Buchholz system, which means that each player on this tie gets the points of the players against which he has played, and you compare those numbers. The player with the highest, whose rivals have more points, is the one who wins, because it's supposed that he has played against players that have won more points, that are more powerful, so he would have won. If you don't like this system, you can always make a tie break and on a sudden death, and it's done. It's not a big deal, neither. And about how to do it, you can make it by paper and pen. It's not very complicated. You shuffle it on the first round, and you just make it around. After the first loop, you make the overall standings, and you just order them, and you keep this order to make the next matches. If you want, you can use some electronic apps. The most famous one is Swiss Manager, which is made for chess, but you can check it out to take ideas, or even to use it. Okay, so I encourage you to try to make more match play tournaments. They are good for the players because it's very spectacular. You can play more on the attack mode, not like everyday stroke playing. And it's also good for the spectators, and even for the cameras and for the media. It's quite spectacular. And with this Swiss system, which has been used for a lot of decades, and it's well proven, you can make sure that all the players will play all rounds and against players which more or less the same level. So let's try it out and see how it works. See ya in Zonadiscgolf.